Salamat pagi, salamat patang, salamat malam. Apa macam tuan-tuan, puan-puan, datu-datu, datin-datin, tansri, ponsri. Kumusta tayo mga kababayan ko dito sa Malaysia, dito sa Sabah? Ini kali hujan, kuat hujan di Kota Kinabalu. How are you? And today, I would like to welcome each and every one of you dito po sa programa natin, Nick Talk na Real Talk with Nico. Ito po si Nico Fabian. And I will give you ang mga latest developments natin regarding what is happening dito sa Sabah as well as dyan din po sa Pilipinas para sa mga kababayan ko dito sa Sabah. And of course, this program is also dedicated to all our overseas Filipino workers wherever you are outside the Philippines, sa iba-ibang nasyon. Kumusta kayo? I hope everything is running smoothly sa mga buhay natin ngayon on a Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning. As what I said, ulan dito po sa Kota Kinabalu. And those are driving, those are going or sa labas ng bahay, ingat-ingat lang tayo po dahil umuulan dito. And I hope you will take extra precautionary measures when you are outdoor, no? When you're outdoor. And let us also hope, and I'm hoping also, na ang Sabah or ang Kota Kinabalu, especially dito po sa lugar ko sa Penampang, I hope the rain will not last long para wala tayong problema. Ang problema natin ng flash flood. Kawawa naman ang district of Penampang. Every time may heavy downpour, we always experience itong sabihin natin flash flood. Sana lang po, today we are not going to experience any flash flood. Although, almost 1 hour na umuulan dito sa Kota Kinabalu. Particularly dito sa Penampang District. And yes, before I will be giving you ito mga notisya natin galing sa Pilipinas, tuloy pa rin ang problema sa Pilipinas. And hoping that very soon, if not too soon, we will be able to solve ang problema natin sa Pilipinas, especially ang graft and corruption. Mga Filipinos, we really want to see those involved, those who are involved and found guilty sa very big scandal, flood control projects scandal dyan sa Pilipinas. Those who are involved will be sent to jail. Yon ang sabihin natin ang sitaw ng mga Filipinos dyan sa Pilipinas at sa mga Filipino sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo, especially dito din po sa Malaysia, particularly dito sa Sabah. Ikulong na ang mga sabihin natin mga corrupt. Walang konsensya yon sila. And just imagine as a reminder lang, as a reminder lang sa mga kababayan ko dito sa Sabah. As a reminder, just imagine ilan na bilyon o trilyon na po, ginamit itong mga irresponsible, greedy individuals who stole our money, ang taxpayers' money po for selfish motive. Enjoy ang pamilya nila using our money. Ang mga anak nila po sa abroad, enjoying life. While ang mga Filipinos, mga taxpayers are suffering every time mayroon tayong we experience either man-made or natural calamities. Dahil sa kanila po, ang buhay natin mahirap. Mahirap po. Ang exchange rate natin sa Pilipinas, peso to US, grabe na po. Grabe na po. So, sana lang we will solve this problem. May mga suggestions, proposals on how to solve the problem. And later on, we'll be talking about this, about this mga proposals and suggestions. And mga latest developments. In the meantime, the most awaited announcement dito po sa Sabah was made yesterday, October 6, by no less than the Chief Minister of Sabah, si Dato Sri Haji Noor. Ano yung most awaited? What is the most awaited announcement? We have been waiting. The Malaysians, the Sabahans has been waiting for quite a long time already. Yun po ang dissolution of the State Assembly. So yesterday, no less than our Chief Minister of Sabah, si Datuk Sri Haji Nur, announced that the State Assembly has been dissolved effective immediately October 6. Ibig sabihin, what does it mean? Ibig sabihin, Sabah is now gearing towards another state election. So anytime soon, we'll be hearing from the administration of Hajiji ang exact date of the campaign period. Normally, ang campaign period dito sa Malaysia, it will only take 2 weeks. Only 2 weeks campaign period. After 2 weeks, then we are going to go, mga Malaysians, qualified voters will be going to the polls to elect their assemblyman dito sa Sabah. So, based on the informations and the news reports that we have been receiving or published dito po sa Sabah, all the political parties, including independent candidates, are ready. Ready na daw sila po to go to the polls and submit themselves to the voters ang application nila to be elected sa 17 State Assembly election. 17 na ito. So let's see po. But as a reminder to all ang mga kababayan ko dito sa Malaysia, I just want to remind them, take note, please take note, this is not our election. Overseas Filipino workers, please take note, this is not our election. Mga overseas Filipino workers as well as other Filipinos who are legally residing and working in Sabah, let me again and again remind you, this is not our election. Let us respect our host country. Ang host state natin po dito sa Sabah. Let us respect them sa mga tao, mga Sabahans dito po by not participating in any way. Please don't participate in any ways during the election of Sabah. It means refrain. It means refrain from participating in any charamas or any political gathering. In any charamas or any political gathering to avoid misunderstanding. To avoid unnecessary problems po sa buhay natin while we are here in Sabah, while they are doing their election. Wag na po. And make sure all Filipinos, from now onwards, although it's every day we should do this, please bring your documents, travel documents wherever you go. Because don't be surprised if there will be random checking. Immigration and police will be checking the people in Sabah. Because of this election, they want that the election will be peaceful, orderly. So, to avoid inconveniences, to avoid unnecessary problems po, please bring your documents when you are outside sa mga bahay natin. When you go out sa mall, when you go to your work, please carry your travel documents. Be it kung turista kayo, be it ang passports natin, or if you are working here, legally residing and working here po, bring your work permits. And please avoid participating or going near to any charamas, any political gatherings. Refrain from doing that. I think the Malaysian government, the Sabah government will appreciate. Let us just focus, tayo mga Filipinos dito sa Sabah, let us just focus in our employment. Trabaho natin. Pabayaan natin yon ang election nila. Because this is not our election. This is not our election. when we had our elections last March 12, midterm election po, the Malaysian government, the Sabah government, even allowed Filipinos to campaign among our community dito po sa Malaysia, dito po sa Sabah. So, to reciprocate ang kindness, no? Ang respect ng Malaysian host natin, please do not participate in any political activities carried out by the local politicians dito sa Sabah. Friendly reminder lang ito sa mga kababayan ko dito sa Sabah. Alright, now first thing I would like to share with you ang video clip on the announcement of sabihin natin announcement of the dissolution of the state assembly Let's watch and listen this video clip that I have prepared for all of you, for all of us mga kababayan ko dito sa Sabah, and as well as for the sake of our kababayan of friends natin ang mga Malaysiano, mga Sabahans. Let's listen to this.
On to our first story. The Sabah State Legislative Assembly has officially been dissolved today, paving the way for the 17th Sabah State election. Chief Minister Dato Sri Haji Noor made the announcement during a press conference following a luncheon with state leaders and backbenchers at Menara Kinabalu, the state's administrative centre. The Sabah State Assembly consists of 79 seats, 73 of which are elected, while 6 are appointed members. In the 16th state election held in 2020, GRS, which was then aligned with Perikatan Nasional, Barisan Nasional, PBS, and Independent Assemblymen, secured 41 out of the 73 contested seats, forming the state government. Warisan won 23 seats, while Pakatan Harapan secured 9. GRS was formally registered in March 2022, comprising Bersatu, PBS, Parti Solidarity Tanah Airku, and Sabah Progressive Party. Barisan Nasional and PAS were not part of the coalition. However, in November 2022, Haji G and other Bersatu leaders left the party and formed Parti Gagasan Rakyat Sabah, leading to Bersatu being removed from GRS. By January 2023, Barisan Nasional withdrew support for the GRS-led state government, but Pakatan Harapan stepped in to provide support, allowing the state administration under Haji G to remain intact. Last Thursday, GRS Secretary-General Dato Sri Masidi Manjun announced that STAR and SAPP would contest in the upcoming state election using their respective party logos rather than the GRS emblem. As a result, both parties are no longer considered part of the coalition, in line with GRS's ruling that component parties must contest under a common symbol. Following the dissolution of the Sabah State Legislative Assembly, Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim urged all parties to exercise caution during discussions and expressed his hope that the election campaign would proceed smoothly.
Aktiviti bincang, kami harap campaign dengan baik bagi pilihan sebaik pada rakyat. Okay?
He said this to the media after officiating the Khazanah Mega Trends Forum 2025 in the capital on Monday.
Kesediaan menganggap bahawa kita
Alright, yun po ang announcement coming from the government media. We call it the Bernama report. No? So, officially, it's confirmed na dissolved na po ang State Assembly of Sabah. No? In other words, all the 73, if I'm not mistaken, 73 seats state seats po are now declared vacant. And those who are interested, the mga political parties, we have, I think, 5 political parties who will be contesting in this election, plus the independent candidates, no? And the date of the election we have to wait for the official announcement from the Election Commission of Sabah po, from the authorities concerned dito sa Sabah. But definitely, election will only be 2 weeks. 2 weeks lang po, no? 2 weeks, and then the people will go to the polls. Alright, this time around, let me share with you the full speech of Chief Minister Hajiji Noor when he announced yesterday ito po, October 6, when he announced the dissolution of the State Assembly. That was yesterday po. And nandito, it's in Malay, but yes, I think dapat na po, for the sake of our Malaysian friends also, mga sabahans po, I would like to share this video clips sa programa ko dito po sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Nandito po.
Adalah satu peristiwa ataupun majlis yang dinanti-nanti selama ini oleh bukan saja reporter yang ada di depan kita ini, tetapi juga oleh seluruh rakyat Sabah, yaitu menunggu pengumuman yang akan saya buat sekarang ini. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, memandangkan tempoh 5 tahun Dewan Undangan Negeri Sabah ke-16 akan berakhir, saya telah menghadap Tuan Yang Terutama Tun Datuk Seri Panglima Dr. Musa bin Haji Ahmad yang di-Pertuan Negeri Sabah pada pagi ini untuk menasihatkan pembubaran Dewan Undangan Negeri. Dengan perkenan Tuan Yang Terutama Tun, Dewan Undangan Negeri Sabah ke-16 akan dibubarkan berkuat kuasa pada hari ini. Yaitu hari Isnin 6 Oktober 2025. Ini memberi laluan kepada pilihan raya negeri Sabah yang ke-17 dan memberi kuasa kepada rakyat Sabah menggunakan hak demokrasi mereka untuk menentukan siapa yang akan memimpin mereka. Keputusan ini mencerminkan komitmen kami terhadap demokrasi dan proses perlembagaan. Sepanjang 5 tahun yang lalu, kita telah bekerja dengan gigih, dengan bersungguh-sungguh untuk membawa perubahan dan pertumbuhan ekonomi yang bermakna kepada negeri dan rakyatnya. Melalui Pelan Pembangunan Halal 7 Sabah Maju Jaya yang holistik dan inklusif, kami telah menetapkan Sabah pada landasan transformasi yang jelas sejak menerajui negeri ini pada bulan September tahun 2020. Berpandukan 3 tonggak utamanya. Pertama, pertanian, sektor industri dan pelancongan. Kedua, modernisasi dan kesejahteraan rakyat. Dan ketiga, jaringan infrastruktur dan kelestarian hijau. Pelan Halal 7 ini telah mencapai kemajuan yang sebenarnya. Kami mengambil langkah berani dan bertanggung jawab untuk menangani isu lama yang diwarisi, terutamanya berkaitan bekalan air dan elektrik serta infrastruktur yang kritikal. tindakan konkret dan beberapa proyek besar sedang dilaksanakan untuk menyelesaikan cabaran yang diwarisi ini yang telah membebankan rakyat sejak sekian lama. Beberapa inisiatif telah disiapkan, sementara sebahagian yang lain sedang berjalan untuk disiapkan. Dalam tempo ini, Sabah telah mengukuhkan ekonominya, menarik pelaburan baru untuk mewujudkan lebih banyak peluang pekerjaan, meluaskan bantuan pendidikan, dan meningkatkan kesejahteraan sosial semua lapisan masyarakat. Pencapaian ini adalah hasil kepercayaan, sokongan, dan visi bersama rakyat untuk Sabah yang lebih baik. Namun, kerja kita belum selesai. Cabaran baru menuntut penyelesaian yang berat, dan kita bersedia membawa Sabah ke lembaran seterusnya. Dengan pembubaran ini, kami memohon mandat baru daripada rakyat untuk meneruskan usaha yang telah kami mulakan, yaitu membina Sabah yang lebih kukuh, lebih makmur, dan bersatu untuk semua. Besar harapan saya agar keputusan pilihan rakyat kelak akan mengukuhkan suara rakyat, menjaga kestabilan dan keselamatan, serta memastikan kemajuan berterusan untuk Sabah yang tercinta. Marilah kita bersama-sama maju ke hadapan dengan penuh keyakinan dan tujuan. Sekian. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, you just heard an official announcement of the dissolution of the State Assembly ng Sabah made by no less than the incumbent Chief Minister of Sabah, si Dato Sri Haji Noor. And of course, yes, you will be expecting more political news coming in from now onwards po when we talk about the election of Sabah, no? O Sabah, busy na ang mga media, local media and national media dito po sa Malaysia and sa Sabah. We will be very busy until after the election, no? After the election. Mayroon ng mga sabihin natin ilang mga parties, no? Will be contesting. Mayroon tayong party warisan, ang GRS together with the PH, Pakatan Harapan. Mayroon din, I was made to understand, mayroon a total of more than a dozen of independent candidates who will be participating in the 17th state election this year, 2025. And normally, when we conduct, or Sabah conducts its election, now it has been proven that it is a, sabihin natin, peaceful and orderly election po, no? Election dito sa Sabah. And there are some groups already, immediately after the dissolution of the State Assembly ng Sabah, there are some groups of people already who are also looking into on how itong mga Sabahans who are working outside Sabah, let's say in other states in Sabah, be it in West Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, Penang, Malacca, saan-saan, Johor Bahru, saan-saan po, other states po, now they will be trying to assist ang mga Sabahans to cast their votes on the election day, polling day. Babalik sila dito sa Sabah and cast their votes, no? Cast their votes. So, ang problema dyan po, ang transportation, because from Sabah to Kuala Lumpur, to West Malaysia, it is almost a 3 hours plane ride. 3 hours yun po to go to West Malaysia. Nandyan po ang capital ng Malaysia is Kuala Lumpur. So, mahal din ang ticket, especially that we are coming in to a sabihin natin season na po, travel season na po, no? But karamihan, marami mga NGOs who are looking ways and means on how to reduce ang fare rate, no? Fare rate ng from Kuala Lumpur to Kota Kinabalu, or maybe from Penang or from Johor Bahru, kasi mayroon tayong mga direct flights. That also includes in Sarawak. Hindi tayong problema sa Sarawak because in Sabah we have two states in Malaysia. That is Sabah and Sarawak, nasa east tayo ng Malaysia. No? So if the samahans are working in Sarawak, they want to come and vote, pwede na din tayo po by land na lang. It will take around 4 to 5 hours drive lang yon, no? But ang problema natin yun po, yung mga Filipinos dyan sa Penang, state of Penang, sa Johor Bahru, sa Kuala Lumpur, wherein you have to take a plane to come down to Sabah and cast your votes. So I hope other airlines will also come in and contribute or make the contributions po to reduce muna ang sabihin natin ang fare rates natin during the polling day. Para itong mga sabahans, qualified voters, they will be able to come and cast their votes on the polling day, which will be announced by the authorities concerned dito sa Sabah. Anytime yun po, no? Anytime yun po. But again, sa mga kababayan ko dito sa Sabah, I want to remind again to them na please do not in any ways, no? Please do not get involved in the local political exercise. It means refrain from participating or attending or getting near to political gatherings or cheramas, to avoid itong problema po, itong unnecessary problems. Reminder lang yun po, no? Reminder lang yun po, because I believe that the host country natin po will not like the idea if foreigners will take part in any ways in their electoral exercise. Okay, when we talk about the political parties, yes, of course, I mentioned already ang Warisan or Party Warisan, and nandyan po ang PH, Pakatan Harapan, ang BN, Barisan Nasional, ang KDM, mayroon din tayo ang Party Bersatu Sabah, mayroon din tayo another political party, ang Star Sabah, no? Which is parang may problema ngayon. Hindi man siguro problema, but ang mga elected representatives of Star Sabah, 6 of them, 5 of them refused to join their president, si Dato Sri Dr. Jeffrey Kitingan po, when he pull out from the coalition government, ang GRS spearheaded by Chief Minister Dato Sri Haji Jinor just recently, I think 2-3 days ago, no? Yon po ang dilemma that Sabah Star is now facing, no? And I will give you some details regarding itong mga issues ng STAR. Briefly lang po, later on, mayroon tayo isang footage dito just for the information of ang mga followers natin dito po sa Nico na Real Talk with Nico. Nandito po. Let's watch and listen to this video clip that I have prepared for all of you. Nandito po.
Stood at Party Solidarity Tanakh Ayerku Deputy President Elron Alfred Angin and 3 other assemblymen have stated their support for Gabungan Rakyat Sabah in the upcoming state election, says GRS Chairman Haji Jinor. This comes after the 4-star assemblymen broke ranks with their party president Jeffrey Kitingan, who led the party out of GRS last week by attending Haji's announcement of the state assembly's dissolution today. Elron, the State Youth and Sports Minister, is a four-term assemblyman for SUG. It is understood that the three other assemblymen are Abidin Madingkir, Anwar Ayo, and Flovia Ng. Earlier today, the Kuwamut division of STAR had also pledged loyalty to GRS ahead of the coming state election. Division head Mandi Yadam said a special meeting was held 2 days ago where leaders agreed not to field a candidate in Kuwamut and to back the GRS candidate instead. He said grassroots members have chosen to remain with Kuwamut GRS, led by Masiung Bana, to ensure political stability and continued development in Kuwamut and Tumut. Natasha Bust, FMT.
Alright, yun po, no? Yun po, narinig ninyo po ang report from, if I'm not mistaken, from the government media, and that is ang Bernama, no? Bernama. Alright, hold on, ha? I try to get this news article po. Hold on. Let's allow me to share with you itong news article po regarding sa Star Sabah, no? Star Sabah po, which is being spearheaded by no less than Deputy Chief Minister. Now, nag-pull out na siya from the coalition government, ang GRS, si Dr. Jeffrey Kitingan. Ang heading of this news article po is about ang reaction of Dr. Jeffrey Kitingan. Okay, nandito po. Let's listen carefully. Party Solidarity Tanah Airku or STAR President Datuk Sri Panglima Dr. Jeffrey Kitingan has expressed respect for the decision of 5-star leaders who choose to remain with Gabungan Rakyat Sabah or GRS, saying that every individual must act according to his or her own conscience. I respect, sabi ni Dr. Jeffrey Kitingan, I respect the decision of the 5-star leaders who have chosen to remain with GRS. Each person must act according to his conscience. I have seen this before and I am not surprised, he said in a statement yesterday night. Dr. Jeffrey, who is also the Deputy Chief Minister, said walking alone was nothing new to him as his political journey has always been guided by conviction rather than conscience. Sabi niya, in my life, I have often walked alone. There is nothing new about this. What matters is not how many walk beside me, but whether the path is right and that I stay on the path, he said. Some may tackle the easier road, but I will continue on the one that leads to justice for Sabah. He stressed that his political struggle has never been about holding positions or seeking comfort, but about defending the dignity and fairness owed to Sabahans. He added, this struggle has never been about position or comfort. It is about dignity, fairness, and the unfulfilled hopes of Sabahans who deserve better. Sabi ni Dr. Jeffrey. Dr. Jeffrey reaffirmed that his mission remains unchanged, to stand for Sabah and to serve its people with honesty and courage. My mission remains the same. I will continue to stand for Sabah and to serve her people with honesty and courage, he said. He added that those who had chosen a different path remain his friends, and he wished them well. Those who choose another direction remain my friends, and I wish them well. My duty, however, is clear. The struggle continues, and in the end, the people will decide. Yon po ang statement ni Dr. Jeffrey regarding ang 5 assemblymen niya po who did not follow him when he decided to pull out from GRS. And hindi lang yan po, ang Star Sabah, mayroon pa isang political party, local-based political party, and that is the Sabah Progressive Party or SAPP, spearheaded by former Chief Minister of Sabah, si Dato Sri Panglima Yong Tek Lee, also pulled out po, no? Also pulled out. So medyo mabigat din ng eleksyon nila ngayon dahil mabigat ang GRS po, no? GRS. Combine ito with the PH, no? With PH. So let's see po, ang the way how people are looking ngayon po, it is GRS, BN, and Party Warisan. It will be a fight, no? A fight. And other people, observers, political analysis and observers were saying that it will be difficult for one party to form the government. Huh? Some are speculating that the next government of Sabah after the election will be a coalition of political parties po to form the Sabah government unless a certain political party will be able to get a simple majority. It means out of the 73 seats, they have to get 37 seats to form the government. And of course, BN, Sabah, no? Spearheaded by former Deputy Chief Minister, si Bung Mokhtar, Dato Sri Bung Mokhtar, as well as another former Chief Minister of Sabah, na spearheading ang Party Warisan. They all said that they are optimistic of forming the government. But let's see po, no? Let's see anong sentiments ng mga Sabahans. Sentiments ng mga Sabahans. So, dito po sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico, all I'm going to do, since everybody are talking about election already po, maybe every time I will come out with my channel, I will give you some updates regarding ang Sabah election. Sabah election po, no? Sabah election. So, expect also quite a number of independent candidates who will be participating in the 17th Sabah state election, of which the exact date of the campaign period as well as a polling date will be announced later on by the local authorities, proper local authorities. Alright? Yun ang updates natin tungkol sa balita sa Sabah. Okay, let's go down to the Philippines. Ganon pa rin po ang problema natin sa Pilipinas. And the updates na mayroon tayo tungkol kay Senator Ping Lacson, who is the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, now confirmed. It has been confirmed that Senator Ping Lacson, the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, has officially submitted his resignation letter to the Senate President, Senate President Tito Sen, si Tito Sen or Tito Soto, and it was accepted. Sabi pa nga ni Senate President Soto that he tried to convince Senator Ping Lacson not to step down, but obviously, apparently, Senator Ping Lacson has made up his mind. And he is stepping down. And sabi ni Senate President Soto that they have sa minority block dyan po sa Senado, they have confident calibered senators who can be the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee. May mga pangalan i-mention like Senator Bam Aquino, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, si Senator Joseph o JV Ejercito, mayroon si Senator Raffy Tulfo, mayroon din Senator Pia Cayetano, who is also a lawyer. And sino pa yan isa, ha? Kaya din po to be a chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Normally, this is the most, sabihin natin, serious committee po dyan sa Senado. And normally, the chairman will come from the majority bloc, not from the minority. Not from the minority. But mayroon din mga haka-haka dyan po sa Pilipinas ngayon. Baka, let's see on Friday. Mag-resume na naman ang Senado sa Friday. Let's see kung totoo ba itong hearing, haka-haka dyan po sa Pilipinas, that may kudeta na naman po sa Senado. May mga haka-haka, may mga rumors spreading that Soto will be going out and Cayetano coming in. But si Senator si Senate President Soto said, together with Senator Ping Lacson, sabi niya, it can happen po for as long as mayroon ang number. All these people needs ang minority if they want to change the, sabi natin, Senate President, they have to have at least 13 senators who will support the move. 13. So it means ngayon ang number of opposition bloc is already 9. Already 9 po, no? So it's just a matter of a few more senators they will try to convince if totoo yan. Although sabi ni Senator or si Senate President Soto, he is still optimistic, confident that he still has the support of all the, or majority of the senators as the Senate President. But let's see on Monday. Now, talking about, let's talk about itong ICI, Independent Commission on for Infrastructure. This is the commission which is designed to investigate itong problema natin, graft and corruption or ang flood control project scandal sa Pilipinas po, which involves billions if not trillions of taxpayers' money. Now, parehas pa rin ang sigaw ng mga Filipino. The majority of the Filipinos, ang trust sa gobyerno nawala na. Kung hindi nawala, depleting na. Wala na. Konti na lang po. No? That is why they are calling itong ICI to open up the investigation. Why to open up the investigation? Because if they will open up the investigation, there is a possibility that the people, or they will be able, the government will be able to gain back the trust of the Filipinos. Sa ngayon po, wala na po. Mahirap na ang trust ng mga Pilipino sa gobyerno. Dahil itong big scandal, scandal po, wherein pangalan ng mga senators, pangalan ng mga congressmen, no? Mga government departments and agencies officials, kagaya ng Department of Public Works and Highways, the names were mentioned, in cahoots sila po dito sa mafia style scandal, corruption scandal. No less than the former ombudsman chief, si Conchita Morales, yesterday, also mentioned na ang corruption ng Pilipinas is deeply rooted na po. And this is not coincident. This is really planned. Planado talaga itong corruption ng mga pera para sa flood control projects and other infrastructure development projects dyan sa Pilipinas. Because there is really collaboration between the lawmakers, government officials, sa mga different departments and agencies, as well as ang private sector, particularly ang mga contractors. Particularly mga contractors po. No? Ang issue ng lahat, karamihan, if not lahat ng mga senators, may mga insertions or amendments dyan po sa 2025 NEP, no? National Expenditure Program, sa GAA. Dumalabas na po na totoo. And we have seen this former congressman, si Saldico, really deeply involved. Ang mga invitation nandyan talaga po. He already resigned and is out of the country. And of course, ang former Speaker ng House of Representatives, si Congressman Martin Romualdez, involved din po. Mention din ang pangalan niya po. And there are rumors lang ito, that Romualdez is contemplating of leaving the country for medical reason. Bakit? Sabi ng mga Filipinos, bakit noon na hindi pa ito lumabas itong corruption issue, healthy daw ito si Romualdez at saka si Saldico. Bakit all of a sudden may sakit na, left and right na, and they have to go for medical treatment abroad, sa United States ba o kung saan. Sa ngayon, si former Congressman Mr. Saldico, accordingly, is in Spain. And many people, Filipinos, they doubt if this Mr. Saldico will be returning back to the Philippines to answer ang mga allegations sa kanya. Big question mark yun. And mga Filipinos also, they are also shouting, bakit nasuspend ang Blue Ribbon Committee hearing? Dahil ba lumabas na mga pangalan ng mga tao, mga mabigat na tao po, kagaya ni Congressman Martin Romualdez, who is the first cousin of our President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, si Saldico, and other congressmen, and also itong mga senador. So, ang issue po is now, getting more complicated, and itong ICI still refuses to open up the hearing. Siguro ng mga tao, make it a public hearing. Sabi naman ang spokesperson ng ICI, si attorney ba yun or Hosaka, sabi niya because they don't want to make it public because they want to protect also the interest of these resource persons from being judged by the public. But nakalimutan din sila po na may rights, ang mga rights daw ng mga resource person or witnesses for public judgment. How about ang rights ng mga 140 or 150 million Filipinos? We also have our rights to know ano talaga nangyari sa controversy na ito. Yon, that is the thing po. And for as long as they will not open it to the public, ang hearing, malaking problema ang gobyerno po. And there are people also calling already for resignation or snap election also. Snap election. Wala na po. If there is no trust, what else? Sabi nila, it is unconstitutional to declare a snap election. Yon presidente, yon vice president, senador, and congressman. Remember, during the time of the late president of the Philippines, who ruled the country for 20 over years, si President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., he called for a snap election when he heard the voices of the masses na walang na-trust sa gobyerno. So, to solve the problem once and for all, he called for a snap election. Although the result of this snap election favored Marcos, but during that time, ang mga Filipinos, they did not accept the verdict of the Filipinos. So, nakaroon na po ang People's Power 1. And the Marcoses were removed from the country, from Malacanang, and they were brought to Hawaii. After a few years, Marcos Sr. died in Hawaii. Since after the election, they conducted an investigation on the snap election of Marcos Sr. And after his death, lumabas po ang resulta ng investigation. Unfortunately, it took too long. Lumabas po na totoo nanalo si Marcos Sr. sa snap election. So this time around, we want to see ang anak ni Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, Ferdinand Marcos Sr. po. Same thing ang sitwasyon. The issue is on corruption. And there is a call for a snap election. Will it take the challenge? Will it take the challenge? Let's see po. Kasi wala ng trust. Ano pa? Why not go back to the people? Remember, the people has the power. If you try to hold on, for how long can you hold on? For how long can you hold on? With this kind of a situation, very fragile talaga ang situation ngayon po sa Pilipinas when we talk about the feelings, emotions of the Filipinos because of this, sabihin natin, scandal. Very big scandal po. For how long can you hold onto it? Kailangan pa ba another people's power? I don't know. I don't know po. Think about it. Think about it. Sigaw ng mga tao, ikulong ang mga korap. Sobra na, ang dami ng mga korap sa Pilipinas. Give chance to others. Give chance to others. Others who are more sincere, honest, and more than willing, God-fearing leaders po to manage our country. Do it. Step down. Just like in other countries po. Kita natin ang Japan and other countries po. The moment the word T-R-U-S-T tarnish na po, they voluntarily step down and go back to the people and ask the people to elect the leaders. I don't know if it will happen sa Philippines. I don't know po. Sana lang po. Sana lang po. So siguro dito na lang po ang programa natin dito na Real Talk with Nico. I hope in one way or the other I manage to give you the latest developments dito po sa TikTok, the Real Talk with Nico when it comes to issues regarding Sabah related to the Filipinos and issues, controversial issues po dyan sa Pilipinas. Once again, I would like to remind all the Filipinos, kababayan ko po dito sa Sabah, please do not in one way or the other or in any ways get involved in the Sabah electoral exercise. Hindi natin itong election po. Election nila ito po. Let us support them by not interfering in any ways po sa election, Sabah election 2025. So once again, Nico Fabian would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines, God bless us all, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye. I love you.